Come with me on a hiking adventure through one of the most stunning places I've been in my whole life. Not only do I promise you some of the most beautiful landscapes you'll ever see, but also some thrilling up-close experiences with some scary wildlife. We arrived on an overnight bus from Cartagena in Santa Marta city on Colombia's northeastern coast and jumped straight onto another bus that took us directly to one of the main entrances of Tayrona Park, a huge and incredibly beautiful natural reserve covering 150 square kilometers with some of the most breathtaking coastlines and beaches in the world. To enter the park, it costs less than $15 in 2023 prices, and you'll also need to pay a small fee for emergency insurance, which is less than $1 per day for each day that you plan to stay in the park.
It's a funny noise, and we thought, it's just a bird. And then as we were standing here, cooling off, this green snake tail dropped down from the bushes up there.
Right there.
And then it fell to the ground and it had a frog in its mouth, and then the frog ran away, and then the snake was against the log, and then the snake came back to eat the frog and launched itself straight at Ben.
And then it chased me, went under that plank thing, and I literally jumped. Bright green snake attacking a frog. 5 minutes into the walk. One of the main reasons to come to Tayrona is for hiking and checking out the beautiful nature, and I guarantee you that you won't leave disappointed. And less than an hour into our hike in the direction of our campsite for our first night stay, we came across this group of monkeys in the trees above us. Wow, cool. We got to see monkeys. They don't care that we're here. Couldn't care less. They're all around. Cool vines.
Hi, Manny.
You having fun?
So much fun.
This place is stunning, huh?
I've been waiting for this for so many months. It's awesome.
And here are just a few of the incredible views and beaches you'll catch along the way. If you're planning a visit to Tayrona, be sure to bring a map that shows you which beaches are safe to swim at, as some can be dangerous and don't have lifeguards, and you'll see signposts along the way advising you if you can swim in the beach or not. First time at the beach in 3 years, and what a beach to be at. Wow. This is stunning. Just climbed up these rocks to check out this view. You can find these little ice cream places all around the jungle and they collect the wrapper so no plastic ends up in the environment, and even the pop stick at the end goes into a little jar on the table. It's cool.
Ice cream in the jungle.
Yum.
I just want to rub it all over my face.
Do it. Depending on the areas you wish to explore, the hiking paths can vary from easy and flat all the way up to very mountainous and strenuous. But regardless of your fitness level, you'll find areas to explore that are just right for you. We decided to spend our first night sleeping in hammocks. The accommodations are simple but also very affordable, and they have everything you need on site, including restaurants, Wi-Fi, which is only available in the camping areas by the way, and small stores to stock up on anything you need. We dropped our backpacks off and then headed off to the beach to have a sunset dip, catching some more amazing landscapes along the way, unlike anything I'd seen before. And the Piscina Beach was a perfect way to relax after a long day of traveling and hiking. One of the only swimming beaches. Be sure to check it out while you're in the park. How beautiful. Day 2 in Tayrona. Slept very well. Well, I did anyway. And you slept all right?
Yep.
Now we're off to Cabo San Juan, and that is like one of the most famous attractions in this park, I think. I don't know what it is. Let's go. It seems we took the slightly more difficult path, which is where the horses go instead of where the people go. But anyway, that's funny. To the left, the walking path. To the right, the horse path. Don't take the horse path.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
These two kind people saved us from getting lost and going the wrong way. Muchas gracias por ayudarnos. This area called Cabo San Juan is the most famous and popular part of the park, and you'll soon see why. If you plan to stay here in a hammock or tent overnight, be sure to arrive at the park very early in the day, as apparently they don't take reservations, but this would be the perfect place to spend a night or two. This is Cabo San Juan. Beautiful. This is is kind of an iconic little landmark in Tayrona Park, that little hut on the island over there. The sand here is so cool. It's like, I don't know if this is going to catch on camera, but the water looks sparkly, like glitter. Make sure you come here if you come to Colombia. This is definitely one of the most beautiful places I've ever been, without exaggeration. Like some little swamp. What I didn't know at the time, but saw on Instagram when I got home, was that this little swamp is home to a famous caiman, which is a kind of crocodile, known in the area as jepe. We were swimming at the beach just a few meters away from his home, which is kind of scary to think of. Thanks to the Instagram page Santa Marta Trip for allowing me to share this video. Go check them out and give them a follow. This little hut on the point jutting out into the ocean is an iconic landmark of Tayrona Park, and I'll take you there for a little tour. This is the famous cabin on the little island thing, and I think it's just for people that sleep in hammocks. Yes, this is an area for hammocks, and remember that this place books up super fast, and with views like this, it's not hard to see why. Wow, look at that. This is the general style of accommodation if you're staying in a hammock here. It's unbelievable. Every turn is just like postcard perfect. Amazing. One of the best places in Colombia. Little fish swimming around here. There we are. We're on our way to a place called Playa Brava, and this is one of the first beaches you pass after you leave Cabo San Juan. And I guess we're going to be walking quite a bit in the sun until those rocks, and then we'll be entering another path through the forest. This is a brutal path we're coming up to cross the mountain, but at least the view is nice. What's your name, sorry?
Tim.
Tim.
The
Tim from Australia.
Australians, eh?
What's your name?
Toby.
Toby, where are you from?
Germany.
Germany, okay. The people you find in the middle of nowhere on pass. Yeah. I never sweat so much in my life. 7 days of dripping with sweat. Brutal. We booked our next night's accommodation online in a hut on a beach called Playa Brava. But getting there was extremely hard work. Around 4 hours of climbing up and down steep mountains, but it ended up being worth it, even though there were snakes along the way.
One eternity later.
Finally we arrived. That was a long walk. Walked about 4 hours. 2.5 hours, 3 hours from the last beach, but oh, it's brutal. But finally we've arrived at a place called Playa Brava, which is like, translates as like angry beach, which is really weird. But anyway, we're staying in a cabana, like a little cabin tonight. I'll show you when we get there. It is so beautiful here. Hell of a walk from where we were earlier today. We're exhausted, but apparently the walk back is about an hour shorter, and part of it can be by motorbike. So I'm kind of delirious, so I'll show you a quick little bit of the cabin and the beach, and that'll be all. Time to have a rest. Look at this little lake here, by the way. It has millions of little tadpoles swimming in there, and I think there are some goldfish. This is our hut with all our dirty clothes hanging off it, but anyway, we get 2 private hammocks that we can use and 2 beach chairs. And here is a scorpion people made out of wood and coconut shells. It's kind of cute. And this is what the huts look like on the inside. A hammock, a bed with a mosquito net, a table and chairs, and the bathroom with shower and toilet is on the floor below. Not a bad last day. Good way to finish the holiday, right?
Oh, so good.
This place is beautiful, but really hard to get to. I was wondering what all these little holes in the sand are. Now I know. Oh, look at the color of that sunset. Wow. As you can see, Playa Brava is a little beach with rocky cliffs at each end and a mountain range behind, so it's not easy to get to, and there are definitely other accommodations with easier access, but for those of you willing to do the hike, I promise you it'll be worth the effort. It is incredible. You're going to be sore after the long hike, so I suggest staying for 2 nights if you can. You'll need the time to recover. But sadly, it was time for us to leave. Farewell to our cabin. One of our favourite places. I don't know if this one was better than Guatapé, but it was different, right?
I still thought it was amazing.
Yeah, oh, absolutely incredible, but just different experiences. Away we go. We have a treacherous, well, not treacherous, but really hard walk ahead for 2 hours, and then apparently we can get motorbikes for the rest of the way back to the entrance and the exit. It actually ended up being nearly 4 exhausting hours, and along the way we came across this. We hear something weird. That sound. We have no idea what it is, and we're like, do we just stay on the path? Is it a jaguar? Is it a monkey? We're really close to whatever they are. Way there in the center, there are some monkeys up in the tree. No idea what kind they are. If anyone knows, let me know. But that's what's making all that noise. Those guys sitting up there, there's probably 4 or 5 of them, are making all of that noise, echoes through the whole jungle. Sounds kind of terrifying. It turns out they're called howler monkeys, and this is what they look like. I didn't film the last leg of the trip by motorbike back to the taxis, but it saves you at least another hour of walking.
That was too exhausting. Faces are too broken people.
And finally, we headed to Santa Marta airport for our return trip to Medellin. And one of the most awesome trips of my life, from the Amazon to Cartagena to Tayrona Park, comes to an end. If you loved the nature, landscapes and beaches from this video, then I have something special for you. Coming up next, I'll show you Tayrona Park 100% by drone. It will be spectacular, I promise. I am so grateful to you, my viewers, for your awesome support of my channel. If you like this video, please give it a like, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my Tayrona Park by drone video.